Red meat causes cancer. It's one of the most explosive claims in nutrition. This study says they have the absolute proof. But we looked a little closer at where this data came from and found a story that keeps changing. Starting out trust score from 0, let's see where this one lands. But right on the first page, they break a major rule. Adult colorectal cancer is caused by the formation. Caused by, in science, unless you run a strictly controlled experiment, you cannot use the word cause. It's like seeing people carry umbrellas and saying, umbrellas cause rain. Observing a link is fine. Calling it a definitive cause is completely unearned by their method. Narrative integrity entirely fails here. And the journal itself has problems. Curious 15.9, E45324. This is a journal famous for a rapid peer review model. But Web of Science recently paused indexation of Curious due to concerns about the quality of their articles. That's a massive red flag for scientific rigor. The venue legitimacy is highly complicated. Let's look at their methods. A literature search on secondary data was conducted. They didn't run a new lab experiment. They just swept up existing studies to summarize them. Because this is just a review. We don't need to look for things like randomized patients or blinded doctors. They just need to summarize the past accurately. The basic design checks out. But where's the data? After removing duplicates, studies that did not fit the criteria were excluded. They tell us they threw certain studies out, but they didn't register their plan beforehand, and they left no public data sheets for us to check. Transparency is completely skipped here. Without it, we check their math. Unprocessed red meat intake was associated with a 6% higher risk. So, unprocessed meat carries a 6% risk. And right after that, they say processed meat is 9%. But jump back to the introduction on page 1. Here, they claim processed meat has the 6% risk. They swap their own numbers. The internal numbers don't add up. Which brings us to the authors. All authors have declared that no financial support. The paper says no outside money paid for this, which is good. But we looked at the authors themselves. Co-author V. Panchal has a retracted paper on record. A retraction is like a manufacturer recalling a defective car. The journal found the work unreliable enough to pull it back. The independent story is complicated the moment you look outside the paper. So where does this leave us? The World Health Organization and decades of real science agree that red and processed meat increase cancer risk. But this specific paper is a disaster. They contradict their own math, spin observations into absolute facts, and have retracted work in their history. The science outside this paper might be real, but you shouldn't rely on this document to prove it. 40 out of 100. Discard it. 4 minutes. 1 study. 0 spin. Subscribe.